Now, if I can only figure out which dates are relevant.
Oh, I thought this was going to correspond to, like, the numbers I have to press on the keypad, but no.
Do you want the answer here?
Well, we're looking for...
Campster. We're speedrunning this bitch.
It's the birthdays of the 3 people near William, but not William himself. So Agatha, Henrietta, and Joshua.
What?
Redscard, tag yourself. What one of these names do you want?
Yes, that must be it. 3 dawns mean 3 births,
Agatha.
and they're all adjacent to Father Bill's
What?
grave.
Really?
I'm sure I'm close.
Yeah,
now.
I
just
don't
have to
know. I
somehow
think the name
narrow
Agatha's
down
kind
these
of
to the
cool.
correct
I think it
number
has
of
some dignity
digits.
to it.
I would either go with Ernest, because you can make it Ernie, or Barbara, because you can make it Babs.
I think the thing about Ernie is that you do own a gas station.
Oh, I would love to own a gas station. That's one of the things I would love to own. If I could spend the rest of my time owning a gas station, that sounds great.
I should pick the digits to
Haunted gas station somewhere on Old Route 66.
I mean, no, I like where I live, but yes.
Right.
So it's east to west.
36.
So it's right to left.
13-6.
No, I'm pretty sure
It's like
that's
one of those
not
little
it.
small town former rest stops where there's like 8 hollowed out old gas stations where the pumps have been blown out.
Oh wait, no, I did that wrong.
Can it be in
It's
Colorado? Does it have to be in Arizona?
It's 6113.
I got
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I got it.
Brief. Year, month, day. That's gotta be it.
This is peak spoiler warning content. Everyone who's watching right now, this is Campster and Joshua actually playing the game, and me and Redscard just talking about literally nothing that even matters at all.
And I apologize. It's not fair to the developers. But I mean, that's where we're at right now.
I don't feel like we owe developers anything in particular.
Somebody played Unrest and didn't give a shit about it, and I've carried it with me, like my daddy did, for 9 years. That's the end of that story.
Why did you watch that?
Was it really 9 years ago? Holy
because
shit.
it was a prominent personality who may have been instrumental otherwise in marketing the video game.
Oh, I don't want to guess.
I remember this.
I don't want to get into it.
Again, that was 9 years ago?
The good news is none of us are prominent personalities, so we're set.
I'm baby.
I want to make it clear that the beef is expired on that one. I'm not still angry at the person involved.
If I can live the rest of my life not that interesting to most people and only interesting to 100 people, I'd be very happy. I'm glad that my YouTube channel is tiny, because if it was large, like Campster's, I would be very sad.
So,
I mean, I'm very sad anyway. So.
Very recently, I, for the first time in my entire life, around the age 30, I developed a career spontaneously.
Good for you.
And in the process, finally switched my Patreon from monthly to every time there's a big update, because I can afford to do that now very comfortably. Very, very comfortable. It was. Anyway, point is, I was reflecting on the fact that a lot of the reason I got into Patreon, my thinking was, well, I'm fucked. The job market's I'm not going anywhere in this job market. Jesus, absolutely not. And maybe I could make it as one of these early 2010s creators that are inexplicably successful because they're not terribly talented. I'm not terribly talented. It could be me. I'm very glad it wasn't.
I feel and correct me if I'm wrong, Campster, since you're the expert here, but I feel like content creation as a prominent figure in video games is very problematic and also difficult.
I mean, I'm not a prominent creator.
Yes, you are. I think so.
I mean, compared to people like Stephanie Sterling and even they aren't nearly as big as certain other.
I'm sure she watches your shit though. To be fair.
Yeah, they all do watch you.
I don't know that that's true, but regardless.
Leave a comment below if you think Campster is a prominent figure in video games.
Well, my point is
we're destroying Chris's libel lawsuit by showing him to be a public figure.
I got a text. I got a text the other day from like an old high school friend that doesn't talk to me that often. But the text just out of the blue was just like, "Dude, did you just get quoted in Newsweek?" And I'm like, "Oh Christ, what now?" And I look, and it's I had made that tweet dunking on Jordan Peterson, and they just straight up quote tweeted that tweet in the Newsweek piece, and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ! But then
they didn't even embed the tweet; they just copied the text and put it in line.
Chris, but then he saw my what?
No, please finish.
No, I was just gonna say he texted me. He was like, and you've got 25,000 Twitter followers. You're a celebrity. And I'm like, I cannot impress upon you enough that 25,000 Twitter followers is not a meaningful metric to judge someone's like influence in any way.
I have often observed that your following is disproportionately people who are also critics and reviewers, though. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
And like game developers. And I think that's pretty fucking rad.
You're like inside baseball, Campster, but for gamers.
You're the Bobby Farron of video game reviews. Bobby McFerrin?
Okay. Can I tell you about the two like most famous things I've ever done in my life so that I feel better, Campster?
Okay.
Number one, PaceMagazine.com said that they liked my tweet. Here's the tweet. Take me down to New Donk City where the monkeys are Kong and the kids are Diddy. Number two, once I said that the Fallout armor is like furries but for robots.
Oh shit, you did say that.
And that is on Tumblr. Look it up.
One of the oldest air...
Oh, Josh.
I don't actually know what to do from here.
Okay, so first it said after we've done the we got the Mr. Dicto tape, we have to go back to the prison cell and confront the guy with.
Oh, of course.
Sorry, Mumbles, I didn't mean to.
That's it. That's all I have. I'm not that famous.
I did once join a Discord server and find out that people who did not follow the show were posting my tweets there.
See, that's cool.
Yeah, that was neat.
Oh, actually, the most famous thing I've ever done is... But this was pre-spoiler warning.
This, Isaac.
This is when I was just, like, in a lot of TF2 games, and I played TF2, like, 5 hours every day. I was hanging out with some people who play TF2, and I was like, hey, what's up? I'm Kelly, aka Mumbles. And then some random person looked at me and said, oh, the Mumbles? And I was like, yeah.
You are the Mumbles, I mean, in fairness.
Thank you.
Which is good, because it would really fucking suck if some Twitch person started going by Mumbles, because they would probably be a huge piece of shit.
Yeah.
Well, that brings me back to the point I was saying, is that, like, even in the realm of YouTube as a prominent piece of discourse in games, I think, is largely fading. Now it is TikTok and tweet people, right? Like, or tweet people, Twitch people. And like, a lot of them are bad, but they also have followings millions of times more powerful than most YouTubers these days. Like Ninja or Asmongold or whatever. Those guys have millions, not great people, but have millions of followers. Like, and have an influence that far outstretches anything in the traditional YouTube space, I think.
Well, influence is
you believe that you are carrying out the work of the Crimson One?
Don't think I can.
They can make very loud, scary noises. I don't know that they're really like affecting much about like higher level video game development technique.
That's the only
I guess
real
my
cool shop in
question,
these parts,
Campster,
so
is like,
probably
if
more
this is
likely
too
than not.
personal, then don't
I'll mark the
answer.
location
But
on
have
my
you ever
map
had
for
a
now,
game developer
and see
like
if we can
message
help
you
form some
because
kind
you
of
made a
pattern.
video about them, and they're like, "Hey, I've got some things to tell you."
Wait,
Oh yeah. I've been
Wow.
yelled at
it's a
all
triangle.
sorts of ways.
The lights were
Whoa,
spelled out
really?
all along.
Well, like not
And there's the
yelled at
center.
might be the wrong
That
way to
must
phrase
be
that, but
where
yeah,
I'll find answers.
I have been told how wrong I am on multiple occasions
By
developers
game
of the games.
developers.
Yes.
That you were talking
I have
about.
more things to.
Speak
Yeah.
what you
Holy
I
fuck!
talked to him about that.
How do you even like? How do you keep making content after that?
Look what I found in the church, Isaac.
I'm
You-
serious.
come to gloat, have you?
I
See that
just
you've added steam to
I
your list of sins.
I think to be involved in
Honestly, I
YouTube
just
is
wanna
to have a
understand,
certain level
what does it all
of
mean?
narcissism and or
Oh my
stubbornness.
For a second.
When I think
Speak
about
of
you,
this
Chris, I
moment.
definitely think about someone who doesn't care what other people think about them.
Yes.
But
I
you're
don't
a
know if that's a
sensitive
good thing or
guy.
not.
I'm done here.
No, that's not true. I think you're a really sensitive guy. Like, I would
Such a
hate
brilliant
if
idea.
at the end of your life you're like, oh, I had a good life, but Mumbles hurt my
I don't need
feelings once. I would feel really bad about that.
Like, Chris, you do know that what I just said was deeply sarcastic, right? I feel like I absolutely need to establish that.
Oh, okay. Redguard, that did not come across as sarcastic.
Have you abandoned me?
Chris is like one of the most,
I will
like...
atone for my sins.
He's so sensitive and nice.
Yes, exactly. Like,
God.
Chris
Have
is
mercy on me.
rigorously self-critical. To like a strong, sad level. Like, that's what that statement was.
That's a mean thing I said once, and I'm sorry. Like, Campster's a very empathetic person, and I've always been really amazed at, like, the fact that you can do all these videos and all of these criticisms, even though you're, like, a pretty sensitive person. Like, I don't know, I can never do that. All of my videos are games that I like, so I don't offend people, because I'm sensitive.
I don't know. I just write my truth. Also, did we pick up the metal detector?
No, where do we get that?
Grandma's house.
Why does she have a medical detector?
Medical
What?
detector?
This has become a surgery game now. All right.
It's in the attic.
Presumably, we're gonna need that before we do anything in the woods. Or we'll just get to a point where it's like, oh yeah, you need this. Guess you gotta go back to the fucking mountain.
Yeah, we've had some good talks today. I think the real Kathy Rain was the co-host we met along the way.
I feel bad. I shouldn't even be here.
What? You're good. We're
In
good.
what sense?
Okay. I'll load it
Like,
on the Catmobile.
anytime I show up for games that I don't really care about, I just, like, throw the topic off into
Alright.
outer space, like,
Look,
beyond the Milky
we
Way.
would have
Anywhere
gone
now.
insane of boredom if you weren't talking about other stuff at this point. So, I mean,
No, that is not only true. Like, I honestly ran out of. I'm struggling to add much to this game at this point, and I think that like some of this is on us for like kind of picking this for a season length project.
Well, hold on.
yeah.
Josh, why did you want to play this
What
game?
was it?
What about this game speaks to you?
Custody
I
papers.
like
My name on them.
detective adventure
I was
games.
hoping you
And
wouldn't
I
take
figured,
time.
oh, let's see if that works with
I
our
need to know what
format, and it
happened, Grandma.
didn't go so great.
was
But
never
you know,
good
you don't know
enough.
until you try.
I know.
I feel like
It
if
was
the
the
game,
illness.
the
She
main
tried her
character
best.
was
It wasn't
Columbo
all
or
bad.
Data,
You
like,
were
I
the
would be
despicable
there.
things
Or
she and
Garrus.
Brian
Oh
did.
man, we
Violence.
need a Columbo
Violence.
video game.
I was just thinking that. It's odd there wasn't.
Joseph started talking to
I would
lawyers,
love to
staying
make
up late at night on the
like,
phone,
I don't know.
trying to find
I guess it would have to be a
way,
point and
some
click
kind
of Columbo.
loophole to get you back.
That's kind of like a
But
dream,
eventually
is to make a
ran
point
out
and click of
courts to
Columbo.
appeal to, and your mother
There is a
had
Columbo
a
board
restraining
game.
order. And
What?
she had won.
I wish things could have been different.
Okay, players compete to be the first to either solve the mystery or find
Now
Columbo.
you're getting me
What the
close to
fuck?
tears. Let's talk about
Columbo
something
is
else.
missing.
Okay, Grandma.
I believe it. He
We
just kinda
we know he's
wanders
at his
off.
house, but he never
He's
told us
got-
where he lives.
He's got chili to eat.
The sages at Board Game Geeks are raving with a crisp 5.6 out of 10.
Oh, that's too bad. I would love a point and click with Columbo. I feel like all you would... But the thing about Columbo is you're not solving a mystery, you're proving a mystery.
Right, how would you do that with the format of the Who Catch 'em kind of thing with Columbo?
Okay, okay, here's how I would structure a Columbo role-playing game. It would be based around a series of clues that would be come up with, like one person would go off and they would, like, be the murderer, and they would, like, get the person they were supposed to kill, and they would write how they killed them. And then the people in the other room would come up with a bunch of clues. And then the game is about, like, figuring out how the clues came up from the person doing the crime that way.
Hold up. Okay, so one, if you play Phoenix Wright shows you who the murderer is most of the time in the beginning, like, segment. So that's already Columbo-ish. The other thing is that I actually think it should be a dice roll, Rutsgarn. Like, it should be a dice roll. Did you hide the flower pot that
I'll go and put this back on the Catmobile.
Did you hide the body well? Blah, blah, blah. And if the dice roll is bad, then it actually makes it easier for Columbo to find you. And so you can win if your dice rolls are good, and you can lose if your dice rolls are bad, and then you can, like, do some dialogue stuff in the middle. I don't know how games work. I've never had friends.
You just said the phrase Columbo can find you, and now I'm picturing just like Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, but it's Columbo instead of Nemesis.
No, Slender Man.
Oh,
else in there.
yeah,
It's the Slender game, but it's Columbo.
I can never be
What did we
afraid
get
of
from that?
Columbo, though. If
Moment of
Columbo was
truth.
behind me right now in the darkness, I would give him a
There
hug.
was a whole bunch
I'd
of
be so
cassette
happy.
tapes in the box.
I will say,
Most
I
of
strongly
them are in
suspect that,
really
yes, this
rushed
board game from
info.
1973 is
Only
not very
two of
good,
them
but
are
also,
playable.
it could be decent. Board Game Geek probably has the most, like, brutally snobbish review scale I've ever seen in my life. I actually, like, the only community I've seen that is, like, harsher a reviewer is, like, this one beer website I checked out a single time. Like, I guess it's, like, the big beer review aggregation website, and I kind of took a look at it, and I just, like, checked for a few beers I liked, and I'm like, okay. I guess I'm not really on this level.
Can potentially be used to create a form of a discrete pathway.
I think instead of it being a board game or whatever, it should be, if you're making a AAA game and you have to put in some kind of detective thing, for a moment, have your main character act like Columbo for no reason. Like, imagine if Commander Shepard was acting like Columbo for no reason because they had to
just
solve a space mystery. I'm serious.
Blue Suns Complex.
You're laughing. I'm serious.
I would pay $60 for Mass Effect 3 for the first time, because I've never bought it before that I can recall. I've certainly never played it. I'd pay $60 and I'd pay through the franchise with a male Shepard, just so that I could hear the male Shep voice actor doing a Columbo impression when they didn't even tell him it was a Columbo impression, they just kind of described around it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I want to hear the male Shep voice actor do Columbo from First Principles.
There's a man dressed in red, urging me to jump.
See, my problem is I've never seen Columbo, I've never actually watched it, and I know it's Peter Falk. Like, I know that's who actually stars it. But when you say Columbo, I'm picturing like a rough alcoholic detective played by Dennis Franz. That's what I'm picturing when people say Columbo.
Columbo? Okay, can I describe Columbo to you so that maybe you can actually fucking watch it and enjoy? 'Cause it's amazing.
I know it's a lighthearted
It's a little gremlin man who loves food, especially chili, and he always gets his fucking man.
The important thing
He's always very calm and very deferential to whoever he's talking to, right up until the point where he actually solves the mystery.
No, even when
provides
he
evidence.
solves the mystery, he's a sweetie. He is a sweetie the whole time. But he always gets his man, Campster.
It's like if you imagine kind of like a quiet, like, slightly dunderheaded, bumbling detective, and like, from like a movie where the detective's supposed to be an idiot, you just take that performance, but you give it to a detective who is like that, except he's actually just very smart and like has the personality of a dunderheaded detective. and wants people to see him that way because then they talk too much.
I think we need to get a thermometer.
You do.
And
in the lakeside cabin.
Our bike is gone.
What else did Peter Falk do that anyone today is familiar with?
The
yeah,
Muppets.
like what?
What the?
Princess Bride.
How did
That's
I
it.
get back here? I
The
must be going in
Muppets.
circles.
He's in
He was
the
in Princess Bride?
British... No, he's in... Well, yeah, he's the dad. He's the grandpa in Princess Bride who tells the story. And it's not that... I don't really like the Princess Bride, so...
I think we've actually litigated
My dad
that on
quotes
show
it when he
before.
officiates weddings.
I'm not really a fan of the Princess...
He was in Next. That movie is amazing. Actually, no. Knowing is amazing. Next is the weaker. Nick
He
Cage
was in
movie
The
from
Great Muppet Caper.
Was he playing Columbo in The Great Muppet
He
Caper?
was this guy who sits next to Kermit during
just borrow
Kermit's
this for a
saddest
while.
hour.
Oh,
and
shit,
tells him
he
a
was.
story about two gas stations that are fighting each other and how they are brothers, but then they hate each other and they fuck each other and it just sucks. And then he tries to sell Kermit a wand.
That scene is actually fucking hilarious.
I love Peter Falk.
Like, that's one of the only scenes I remember from The Great Muppet Caper, to be completely honest.
So
Oh.
My actual hot take is that I don't actually like the original Muppet movie that much.
You need to go through the cold ones, whatever
That
exit
is-
is cold.
yeah,
That offends me, Rescard. Why don't you like the original Muppet movie?
I felt like it was... So much of it was a joke I didn't really get.
What about the part where Fozzie is trying to drive, but he's doing a bad job?
You know what it is, actually? I actually don't like a lot of movies from the 70s for some reason. And it's for reasons similar to the reason I don't like the Muppet movie.
Dude, I cannot disagree with you more. The 70s was like prime cinema.
Okay, here's a really weird statement that I'm going to stand by and I'd probably not end up defending. I dislike the Muppet movie because it has the same energy that makes me like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yikes. What?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre is great.
Yes, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974 movie is really, really good.
I've never seen it, so I actually don't have any...
It's got a character
actually
named Franklin.
nothing like you'd expect.
I am afraid of people being chopped in half with this chainsaw. Is this a movie for me?
There is not as much chainsaw death as you would think. It's still one of the first slashers.
I actually think only one person is killed with a chainsaw, and I'm not even sure it happens on camera.
It's just Franklin, I think.
Are any animals hurt? Are any animals hurt?
There's lots of dead things. I don't know if animals are hurt on screen.
What is this place?
Okay, I'm fine with that.
I do not believe that an animal's killed on camera, but the whole framing device is like slaughter.
Right, meat.
So there's
it's a very pro-vegetarian movie.
It actually, the director has gone on to say that it is a pro-vegetarian movie.
Oh, we're at the end of this game, huh, Joshua?
Kinda. I think there's like 40 more minutes. We're at an hour now. Do we want to just go for it?
It's up to the boys. I have literally nothing else going on tonight.
If it means putting this to bed.
I would rather not, and I would also rather not play it next week. Where does that leave us?
What if we just pretend this is the ending, Josh?
Met our
It
end.
looks like it! Wow, what a meaningful ending. Am I right? Rest of spoiler warning cast?
Wow,
it makes you think.
The whole symbolizes where our time went.
Have you ever met your end? I have met her end before. And wow.
It's like a panel from a gun show comic.
Greetings.
You again.
Me again.
I hate this,
You
Josh.
better have some
I hate
answers,
this game.
Crimson One.
I know I'm supposed to like be more understanding of
Your
it,
friend is being
and
claimed by the
you know,
darkness.
roast me if you
She's
must,
standing on the
but
brink
I
of
just
the
don't
abyss
like
as
this.
we speak.
Are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Yes. If you wish
I
to
think
save
the real
her,
problem is the
you
tone
must
shifts. It keeps
disable
going back and forth from like
Why?
Twin
is down
Peaks
there?
style absurd
The
surreality to
the
like very,
reflection of the
very
soul.
heavy real topics
call
that
it
it is
Oh,
not
yeah,
having
that's
to
what Twin
equip.
Peaks does.
Who's we?
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
My kind.
Are you?
I think
capable
the
of
difference is
giving
that
us
Twin
right
Peaks
answer?
operates entirely
does
within
your
that
kind
surreal
actually
scape,
want?
whereas when this brings it to like serious
All we want
topics,
is
it
for you
like
to take
doesn't
your
really
medicine,
feel like it's
Kathy. For
the
you to
same
grow
story.
And be happy.
No.
And
And-
the
That's
person who
Why
makes
were all
Twin
those
Peaks
people hurt?
has a cult following
Lily, Jimmy,
that will
Grandpa?
love no matter what they
You
do.
misunderstand. What one wants.
Well, but like,
And what
it
one
feels
is
like the
able to
surrealism
do
only exists when
are
this
two
guy
different
shows up.
things.
Like, the man in red shows up and
Happiness is
suddenly
not
we're in a
a
David
one-way
Lynch
street.
pastiche.
It cannot be
But like, when
given,
he's gone,
only
it's just a regular thing.
Your grandfather understood that. He embraced it.
Wait, you saw Grandpa?
Oh,
Anyway,
yes. Right
my
here.
husband is playing Team
He was
Fortress
a
2 without
tortured
me,
soul.
so let's wrap this
Desperate
up.
for some kind of meaning after losing
I mean, do you
Josh,
want to
maybe-
just go for it now, or?
I gotta go fuck him up in
He sought
TF2.
the power below. The
Josh, you and I
vessel
can,
of
can do this as a one-off at some
Grandpa
point.
didn't
Yeah.
make it.
Alright,
We'll finish it.
I'm tapping out.
How could I
Me
succeed
too.
when he wasn't able
Pro
to?
strats.
My
See you later.
He was so much
in conclusion,
stronger,
3.5
so
out of
much
4 stars,
braver.
better than Waterworld.
Is that what you believe?
I no. In conclusion, I cannot possibly tender an opinion beyond the superficial observations I've
Why
made
are
throughout
you
the series.
making me do this?
If you want to kill me in
Because
Team
you
Fortress
so
2, at me on
desperately
Twitter.
need it, Kathy.
Leave me in TF2 and
It'll be
This isn't
days
going
later.
up for yeah.
I'll be there.
Forgotten. They follow you like a shadow,
live there now.
pulling you down. They taint your
I moved to Team Fortress 2.
impulse and deep desire.
My bot is
I like
amazing.
the way that guy says taint.
This is what happened when I moved to Team Fortress 2.
This is crazy.
10,
down a
walk away.
big red
50
hole.
ways
Am I bike
of
ride?
moving
I
to
was
Team
ever
Fortress 2.
Team Fortress 2 Tiny House.
The best Team Fortress 2 smoothie.
I can't leave her like that.
The end.
Perhaps
not
she'll
actually
be
the
the
end.
one who breaks the cycle.
Okay, I'm gonna go beat my husband
Okay.
in Team Fortress 2.